Hi, my name's Julie. About a year ago, I did a video of a friend of mine named Raymond who was born with Rubinstein-Taybi syndrome. Recently, I reached out to Raymond and his sister Claretta, and I learned that that video was instrumental in Raymond's healing process when he needed to be admitted to the hospital in an unresponsive state. The doctors didn't know who he was. They knew he was a man with disabilities, but he did not know if he walked, talked, or what he was capable of, or who he was outside of this unresponsive state. Because it was right at the beginning of COVID, his sister could not accompany him. The staff was busy. So I'll let Raymond and Claretta tell you their story, but I urge you to create a video of yourself, of your loved one. If you have disabilities or you advocate for somebody who does, create a video that just says a little bit about you or them. Personality, pardon me, that's Shanti. I can't believe she's doing this. Sorry. Anyway, watch the video and comment below if you've had any experiences with being admitted into the hospital and not having family members there to advocate for you, or if you've been on the other side of that, a family member not able to go in, and you have any tips for us, or if you're a medical staff and you have any tips. Let's pull together as a community and learn from each other. Thank you for your time and enjoy Raymond and Claretta's video.
Did you just tell your sister to put her lipstick on?
Yeah.
Hello, my friend. Oh my God,
Julie.
good to see you.
Yeah.
So tell me about you. What are you doing these days?
Well, I'm writing my music, Julie. I'm writing my music for real.
Oh, good. Yeah, you need your time to create.
I need my time for me. We create music.
Very cool. Well, I thought it would be fun to make another video, but also very important because of what you went through in the hospital.
Yeah.
That was scary to hear about. When you woke up in the hospital in April, did you know where you were?
Yeah. I was out on Centinela.
Okay, so you were never confused about where you were or why you were there, right? Your sister said that you kind of didn't like some of the staff, so you wouldn't do what they asked you to do, right?
I did. When she called them, I started smiling when I heard me on the other end.
You started smiling when you heard your video?
Yeah.
I came home early to bring him his lunch at 12 o'clock. I said to Brittany, where's Raymond? She said, oh, he's upstairs. So I went upstairs to check on him, and he was upstairs. He had fallen out on the floor. He wasn't snoring. He was trying to breathe. He had fallen out and thrown up. So I called 911, and I was talking to the lady there, and I was trying to get him breathing. By the time I started trying to administer CPR, the paramedics were here and they got him breathing, but he was still out, still like non-responsive, meaning he wasn't conscious, wasn't talking to him. And so they took him in the ambulance and I followed, and they wouldn't let you in because it was right at the start of the pandemic. They kept telling me that he wasn't responding to them. He wasn't coherent, or he was non-responsive. And they told me it didn't look good, and they were trying to tell me they wanted to do a spinal tap. They had him on a respirator, and he wasn't breathing on his own. I said, well, can I see him? They said, no, you couldn't. So I kept talking to the nurses, and they were telling me, well, we want to do a spinal tap. We want to do this. And I said, no, you're not going to do a spinal tap. I told him that if I talk to him, I'm sure he will respond, because I know how he is. If he don't know you, he's not saying nothing to you. And I kept thinking, he's got to be in there. I just had this feeling that he was in there. But finally, maybe about after 5 or 7 nights of this, there's a nurse.
7 nights of this?
7 nights. I would call every day in the afternoon and morning and stuff like that. And I tried to get them to talk to me. And I understand that they had, it was a pandemic. It was the start of it. People in there other than Raymond. And they tested him and told me it wasn't COVID-19. He had a bout with the pneumonia. All the years that he's lived with me, he's never had a bout of pneumonia. So it was surprising to me. But my dad told me that Raymond has always had an issue with pneumonia. But he had been with me since 95 and we never had an issue with pneumonia. So this is the first time in a long time that anything like that happened. I was kind of, really upset. They said, well, how is he normally? Because they couldn't gauge on how he normally would act. And I was trying to explain to him, no, he's responsive. He talks. He's disabled, yes, but he does talk. He's fully functioning ordinarily, and he will respond, and he can speak. And because he was disabled, they assumed that he might have been like in a vegetative state, and that's why he wasn't responding to them. The nurse at night, his name was John. I remember I talked to all these other nurses, and, they were just doing their jobs to keep people, and family members informed, but yet they weren't really trying to let me talk to him. And then I said to him, I said, hey, look, in order for you to see how my brother is, he's fully functioning. He can play anything he hears, and he'll respond to the music. So there's a video online of Raymond playing, and I asked him to take that video and put it on a loop and play it for him. And I know Raymond will respond to him playing his own music and to his own voice, and he will wake up. So he did. He played the video over and over again. I don't know how long he played it. And so in the morning, Raymond was responsive. When the nurse said to him, Raymond, are you there? She said, squeeze my hand. He squeezed her hand. And when she played the video, he started dancing in the bed. So that's why they knew he was there, So I was just like, oh my goodness. But you see, it was like, a miracle for me. And that's when he started coming out. Yeah. And they started talking to him. They started trying to take him off the respirator. And it took him a few days to get him off the respirator, but finally they were able to get him to breathe on his own. They tried a couple of days. Once they got him off the respirator, they were wanting to take him to a nursing home. But, I had done research on the nursing homes they wanted to take him to, and I said, no. I said, you're not going to move him without my express written consent because I have the conservatorship, and you're not moving him. I don't give you permission to move him, so you're not moving him. And when you do move him, you're going to move him to a facility I want him to go to. And they were like, well, we can't, we have pandemic people. And I said, no, but you're not going to just move my brother. So I had to be kind of like that strong arm of, look, I know the law. You can't move him. He's conserved. And I do not give you permission to move him to a location that I haven't pre-approved. And so finally, Raymond had some dealings with when he had his congestive heart failure with Little Company Mary.
Yeah, I went back, Julie.
Yeah, so they said, well, do you have any connection at Little Company of Mary? And I said, yes, we do. And so
TK Lynn.
Yeah, so TK Lynn was his cardiologist, and he had long since he's gone on. But because of that interaction, I told him, I said, no, they have his records there, and he has been there before, and they have a rehabilitation center through Little Company of Mary, which is, I guess it's like one of the #1 facilities for the type of care Raymond needed. And so we were able to get him in there. They had a bed available. So they kept him for like 7 days, and they got him where he was walking and he was strengthened, and they had him on a little walker, and then he came home with me. And then I stayed home with him until like August or something before I had to go back to work. And
wow, Claretta, first of all, how awesome are you to fight for him to say no spinal tap? I don't know especially under those nervous conditions, I don't know what I'd say. I don't know if I even know what a spinal tap is. And under that kind of pressure, when you just want relief, you had clarity. You were that fighting big sister that Raymond needed. Raymond, have you taken care of your sister since then? I mean, foot massages, doing the dishes.
No, not yet.
No foot massages, none of that stuff. He's been a typical spoiled baby brother. Gwen, I want this. Gwen, how come I can't have this kind of food? I want this. Can you Uber Eats out? I don't want to eat what you have at the house. Can we Uber Eats? Can you have them bring me this kind of food? Yeah, typical brother.
Well, it's probably because he has a newfound appreciation for all the things available outside of
out of hospital food. He didn't like the food, so he wouldn't eat.
Oh,
and I was like, you have to eat. He was like, the food is nasty. He said, I'm not eating it. And I said, you have to eat. So one of the nurses, she got some, she had the kitchen making some stuff. And so when she came on, she would make sure he ate that stuff. And she said she would help me out with him because he was not eating. He would go, yes. I was like, boy, you got to eat to get strong. He's so particular about his food. The food.
That was for real, Julie.
But the nurse is at a little company and married one of the nurses. She said, yeah, I know he doesn't like the food, but I can get him to prepare certain vegetables and stuff like that he would like. And so she did.
I ate one of them last night, Gwen.
Then he ate.
Last night, I tore that one out.
Yeah, we've been doing a food order meal through Freshly, and he likes their food too, so he'll eat that.
I tore it out.
They have the mac and cheese and chicken, and they have this one called the barbecue Southern mac and cheese. He loves that one. So yeah.
I'll have to check that out. My dad had ordered Freshly for me and my sister's kids at one point while he was getting something done. We had so much fun with it, cooking it.
Yeah, so if you go back through it, say we referred you again so we can get the $40 discount.
Let me write that.
They say refer a friend.
Freshly referral.
Just say Claretta and Claretta Rainey.
Yeah, Rainey. Yeah.
They already know who you are, huh?
Yes, they do. They deliver our food on Sunday. We do like the 12 meals and stuff because he likes those.
Let me ask you this, Raymond, because I got to go in a minute because I got to go meet Carol. But let me ask you this.
My friend Carol.
Yes, your friend Carol. So tell me this, and Claretta, any advice you might have too, you know, having the video, how did that help you, Raymond? What kind of snapped you back into reality? Was it hearing your own music, hearing your own voice?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And you and your sister talked a lot about your past, but you never had any kind of memory loss or anything like that, did you?
It made them realize that, you know, they got to see how he functioned, you know, and that he was fully functioning. And it gave them a barometer as to what was normal for him. They never met Raymond before, and when he came in, he was completely non-responsive. So they didn't know if his disability, whether he was ambulatory, whether he was active, whether he, you know, what level he was on, whether he was vegetated or anything like that. But they were able to see from the video and give them a pretty accurate idea of how highly functioning he was. And also for him, I think the voice, you know, him responding to his family's voice, you know, me speaking to him, and everything, that was helpful because nobody was around him that knew him during the pandemic. And, you know, I know my brother, if he doesn't know you, he's not going to do anything you tell him. He's going to look at you like, Mom. So, and I know that he has that training for his safety. Okay.
Ranger danger. Even if they're a nurse or a doctor, huh?
He didn't know who they were. And I'm pretty positive he was thinking, well, where's my sister? Why isn't she here? Because normally when something like that happens, you know, whether it's pandemic or anything else, I'm right there. I get through somehow because, you know, I'm his sister and they know he's disabled. And you know, under the pandemic, you know, they can't afford that because they don't know where I've been, number one. And they don't know, you know, so they have to strictly limit that personal contact. And I get that. And I know it was for his own health, safety, and the others that were around him.
Right.
So I get that. But the video helped him to see what he was like normally when he was fully functioning. It helped him to see the familiar relationship. And then the talking and all the video of it and him playing his music, I think that really helped him. And they could see his little hands moving. They could see that he was fully functioning and that he could really play. Yeah. So, you know, God is good and all is well for us. Anyhow, we know you have to go.
The meet Carol.
But you know what, you guys, thank you so much for talking to us.